Hey, Jason, one of the subject matter experts here at iCar. We're at the Appleton Tech Center where in a different video we went over some options you had to use a torque wrench on bolts that you just couldn't get a socket on. And we stressed in that video how it's important to use whatever torque adapter you have at a 90-degree angle to the torque wrench so that it doesn't mess up the applied torque to the fastener. Well, what happens if you've got a situation where you just can't get on the fastener with the adapter at a 90-degree angle? Well, we're going to show you today how you can use that adapter at any angle you want. We're going to show you how to calculate the new torque to put into the torque wrench. So in order to calculate what the torque setting should be on your torque wrench, when using a torque adapter that's not at 90 degrees, we need to know a couple of measurements. We need to know the measurement from the center of the torque wrench handle, which is where you should be grasping it when you're torquing a fastener, to the center of the head where you attach your socket or your adapter. Then we'll say that that's the angle you need the torque wrench set at to get on whatever fastener you're torquing. You need to know the measurement between the center of the head to the center of the torque adapter, like that. Then you can plug those numbers into the formula and get your torque, your corrected torque to set your tool to. So here's the conversion formula that takes into account the extra length added by using a torque adapter. T1 is the torque spec that you gather from service information for the fastener. L is the measured length of your torque wrench from the center of the handle to the center of the square drive. And C is the distance measured parallel with the torque wrench between the center of the square drive and the center of the fastener that you're going to torque. Now I'll demonstrate this with some measurements so you can visually see that. Now that we have the measurements, we can plug them into our formula. The torque spec for the fastener we're going to tighten is 80 pound-feet. So we'll plug that in, and we'll plug in L, which was the length of our torque wrench, which came up to 337 millimeters. And the length of the adapter at the angle that it's at, the length was 33 millimeters. Once we calculate that out, it comes up with the new number to set our torque wrench to. So let's say you have a situation where the torque adapter has to be back here in order to access the fastener or get on the fastener. You would calculate this the exact same way. You just have to make sure that when you take your measurement here, C, that you put it in as a negative number into the formula because you're actually making the effective length of the torque wrench shorter. One more thing I'll mention is that if you have this straight out, completely parallel with the torque wrench, a lot of times these are sold in set lengths. So this one, for example, there's a whole set of these and they're all 2 inches from center to center. So you don't have to worry about trying to measure it if you're going straight out like this. So one more thing, some higher end electronic torque wrenches will actually have a field that you can put that measurement C into, and then it will automatically do the calculations for you, so you don't have to break the formula out and plug everything in. That's awesome for those torque wrenches, but knowing the formula and knowing how to put the numbers in, that'll allow you to use a torque adapter with any torque wrench you have, whether it's a click type, an old beam type, any of them. So hope this helps, and thanks for watching.